Hi guys, and welcome to the Hoffington Post. My name's Theodore Hoffman, and I am with a legend here right now. He's helped me on my journey grow personally and through my business. He's really pushed me. And sometimes he just says things here and there. I don't quite get it at the time, but then it hits home when I need to level up. And when I level up, I understand what he means. So he's been a massive inspiration to me. But can you introduce yourself?
Theo, my name is Jojar Dhinsa. I'm the chairman and CEO of Athlone Group. First of all, before we start this podcast, really nice to see you again.
Nice to see you again.
Looking good, looking fresh.
You're
always.
Amazing as always.
So, thank you for that. You've done a really good job with your career, and I'm happy that you're now giving back. So well done, you.
Definitely, 100%. If you told me this, you got to make sure that you give in order to receive. So this is definitely my way of definitely doing that and helping a lot of people in the process. I know that you're a very fearless person from day dot of meeting you, and I really want to get into that, and also money, because I feel like money is something that a lot of people don't like to talk about. But from meeting you, you brought it up. And you've been like, listen, you're more than worthy of having that. So you got to step into that role. You need to be that. You need to move as if you are money and you are of value. So these are the reasons why I'm bringing you on the show. But I want to start off with is what made you start your entrepreneurship journey?
So I was quite young. I knew that money was going to play a very important role in my life. I was born not too far from here, actually. So, immigrant parents, came from India, wanted to do well for themselves, for their parents back home. And, for me, I've always said, first you've got to learn a skill set, and then you've got to earn from that skill set, and then you have to return that skill set. So giving back's important, like we're doing now. And for me, my journey started when I was quite young. I was really young, like 6 years old. I knew that money... People always say, does money make you happy? Yes. I've got to be honest with you. It does make me happy. Because it's what I do with it. I have a purpose. And I think for me, or for anybody, once you know what your purpose is, that's your goal, then you strive for that goal. Now, it's not just about having nice cars, nice houses, and that all helps. You need that. Yeah. But I think my biggest pleasure is when you do help somebody, and you see when they help somebody, so you build a legacy behind you. And that's important because, as you all know, we're all going to go and we don't want to take anything with us. So it's important as a Sikh, that's my faith, that I give back. Yeah. And not just money, because I've always said this, anybody can give money. But it's about giving somebody the ability to, as I've always said, I don't want to give you the fish, but I'll teach you how to fish so you can feed the whole family. Yeah, 100%. I totally agree. What actually pushed, like, through the tough times, what actually pushed you to just go for it? Because that is a lot of things hold people back. Yeah. So there's always remember when there is a tough time, it's a tough time for you, but not necessarily for me or the other person. So for example, you might think, I've got no money, it was tough for you, but for me, there's an opportunity. So when you look at an idea or a decision, should I do it, should I not do it? Well, if you don't do it, you'll never know. But if you do it, if you fail, at least you've learned how to fail. Right? Yeah. But when you're at a junction or a crossroad, where do I go? Everybody is fearful. And there are 50 types of fear. Fear of losing money, fear of the shame in your family, fear of your health, your wealth, etc., etc. But fear has a twin brother called stress. And that twin brother sits on your left-hand side and the fear sits on the right-hand side. And their job is not you to do whatever you're going to do when it comes to business, for example, right? Don't do this, you're not worthy, you've never done it before, you're going to fail, your family will laugh at you, your wife, your kids, your brother, your partner, they'll all laugh at you, so don't do it. So what you're saying is you're omitting the signal saying, well, look at me, my name is John, and I'm very fearful. And that portrayed, because we are all balls of energy,
Yeah.
So if you say that you're not going to do it, guess what? You're not going to do it. Because remember, the brain is not designed to make you happy. It's designed to make you survive.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why when you have a dream and it's very vivid, the brain doesn't know fact or fiction. But once you say to yourself, you know what, I'm going to do it, and there's my goal, there's my purpose, then believe it or not, you'll get there.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to start that journey with the first step forward.
Yeah.
And the rest will just take care of itself.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to believe in yourself, and you have to love yourself. If you don't love yourself, no one's going to love you.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I know that you have a routine.
Yeah.
We spoke about it before.
Yeah.
But like in terms of actually stepping into the role that you are, how would you be able to step into that role? So like if you're speaking to an entrepreneur, they're like, they do have the aspirations, they are putting in the work, but they've not yet stepped in the role.
Okay.
Because there's many a times that you've spoken to me and I haven't stepped into that role yet.
Yeah.
But then when I did, it was just like, okay, it opens up.
Yeah. So remember, when you are born, you're not born scared. You're not born fearless. You're not. You give you've got kids. I've got kids. They don't know what being fearful is.
Mm-hmm. True.
They don't know what jealousy is. They don't know what love is. They don't know anything.
Mm-hmm.
So what we do is we create the environment, right? So you're a person of your environment, and same here as well. So everything you do, how to make money, there's a blueprint. How to lose money, there's a blueprint. How to lose weight or gain weight, there's a blueprint.
Mm-hmm.
There's a manual. But the issue is, when you're born, you're not born with a manual. No one says to you, okay, Theo, here's a manual how to cope with death, debt, divorce.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to go through the process.
Yeah.
But I've always said, doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again is key. Is repetition.
Yeah.
So I'll give you an example. A bamboo tree takes 5 years to grow.
Mm-hmm.
The first 4 years or 4.5 years is in the ground. So somebody's got to go there and water it in the same spot every single day. Whether you like it or not, you got to do the same thing over and over again. And people will say to you, what are you doing, Theo? And why are you still there? As you can see, we've been there for 3 years and nothing's happened. What are you doing? But the last sort of 3 to 6 months, it shoots up nearly 10 foot.
Mm-hmm.
And then they say to you, look at you, Theo, you're an overnight success.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't appreciate or understand the loss of the events you didn't go to because of the sacrifice you've made to get to that level, right?
Yeah.
All they see is a nice cars, a nice house. And I get it pretty much all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing I've said to myself is, ignore everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You are literally on your own. No one cares about you. No one cares about your mum or your dad or your kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Even your shadow will leave you when the sun goes down. You know what I mean?
True.
You're literally on your own.
Yeah.
You are born. You do what I call your bit in the middle, your play, your story of life,
Mm-hmm.
and then you go. And I always say that you are writing a book. There's a book on Theo.
Mm-hmm.
What you did today, what you did yesterday, what you can do the next 5-10 years. But when you die, that book's going to be on the shelf, and somebody's going to pick up that book and go, "Oh, let's look at Theo's life."
Yeah.
i.e., your kids or your grandkids or
Mm-hmm.
friends and family. And you got to make sure that whoever reads my book, was it a good book to read? Did they understand me?
Yeah.
And that's why I say to people, do what you want to do, but somebody's going to judge you.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you like it or not,
Real talk.
somebody's going to judge you. Now, as long as you are honest to yourself and you're a nice person, you're a good person, I've always said this to you many, many times, it's nice to be nice and it's good to be good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice to be nice and it's good to be good.
Yeah.
Do something nice every day to a complete stranger. And I do it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I don't just mean giving a homeless person some money.
Mm-hmm.
He actually doesn't want money, he wants company. So go out there and speak to a complete stranger that needs your help. Somebody out, especially now, right, what's happening with where we are now, current situation.
Yeah.
People need more comfort than ever before. Because the next 4 or 5 years, I think personally, are going to be really tough.
Yeah.
So you have to get this thing between your ears really designed, like brain train.
Mm-hmm.
When you go to the gym, no one says to you, you train the neck down, not the neck up. Whereas I train the neck up first, then I go to the gym. Every single morning, got a blueprint, got a routine. I've never changed it. Even today, it was freezing. I had a cold shower.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was freezing. Our people don't have cold showers, right?
Yeah.
I had to have a cold shower every day, even if it's -50 outside, I still have my cold shower. Why? Because that's my blueprint. That's how I operate. That's my operating system. Without it, I can't operate.
Yeah.
So you need to have a blueprint when you wake up.
As soon as you said the cold showers this morning in your audio message, I jumped into one definitely.
Oh, great.
Yeah. And then
how'd you
straight
feel?
out. Cold. But like, you know what? I just felt like
fresh.
Yeah, fresh. Yeah.
Because your body warms up straight away. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a bit like saying, I always say my body is full of soldiers running around everywhere, right? And all of a sudden, this cold shower, the shock to a system. Because now you've had 4, 5 hours, 6 hours sleep, but how many hours sleep on your horizontal? So what happens is when you wake up, bearing in mind you've had between 50 or 60,000 thoughts of the previous day, 90% are the same. So anything negative when you go to bed, guess what? Bang, that's right at the top. So I want to get rid of that negativity straight away. And we all have something, whether it's girlfriend, boyfriend, health, wealth, whatever. Everyone has some form of problem. So you got to jump out, and I always do my 60 press-ups first thing. Jump in the shower, do my prayers again, 60 press-ups. Then that's my priming, what I do.
Yeah.
And for me, that's my little journey. That's my little meditation. I always do Simran, which is a bit different. Whereas I sort of disconnect from the world, and I need to have that because there's so much going on in my life. Business, family, and everything. I need to have the disconnection. It's what I call my time to speak to God.
Yeah.
It's my time to say thank you for everything, be grateful for what I have, and be grateful for what you have. It doesn't matter how much or how small it is, be grateful.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful to God, and then it's my me time, and I plan my day, what I want. Here's something which I do, and I've done it for years, is a good person will look at their goals maybe once a month, once a week. Most will look at their goals 31st of December. I look at my goals every hour. So every hour my alarm will go off or buzz somewhere, and I think, right, what have I achieved? What have I achieved? What have I achieved? And if I haven't achieved my goal, man, I punish myself. I'm like, right, we've got to do this, this, and this now. So for me, because we're not here forever, I have to remind myself not forever, I want to get close to my purpose. And my purpose, I'm honest with you, is to donate £1 billion of my own money to help with the brain disease, like Parkinson's, dementia, Alzheimer's, MS, everything. And I don't want any donations. I've got all my money. I'll sort it all out myself. I will sort it out myself. And that's my purpose. Now I know what my target is. Now I've got to aim at that target. And I'm trying to hit that target.
Yeah, definitely. So one thing is relationship with money. How do you feel like entrepreneurs and people should change their relationship with money? Because I've changed my relationship with money, but I just want your perspective on how you should look at it. Some people see it as money is bad and it's the root of all evil, or I don't have enough money, and those things and thoughts actually put it down. But I just want your perspective on how you should have a relationship with money.
My perception of money is I love money. I've always have, and I always will. It's what I do with it.
Yeah.
So if you're, let's say, a nasty person without money, all that happens is you're a nastier person with money. And if you're a nice person with money, when you've got no money, you're just a nicer person. For me, I've always been a nicer person in my world, right? I give a lot, I take a lot, I give advice, I take advice, I mentor a lot of people. But for me, I've never looked at money as an evil thing, because I do a lot with it. I see my money working for me. The charity stuff that I do, that as a company, as a group we do, that we still do that now, even if it's the COVID-19 situation. I just think it's your belief system. Do you know what I mean? If you believe that money is bad, you will think it's bad. If you think it's good, you think it's good. I think it's amazing. I think I love it more than anything. I really do. I'm not scared of it. If people say money's not everything, really? Okay, well, let's go to, I don't know, this place we're here and walk out without paying for it.
Yeah.
Or tell you what, let's go to Tesco, let's grab a bag of sugar, only like 99p, and that's what happens to you. You get arrested. You get a criminal record for 99p. Right? And it's only 99p, right? Only 99p. So I think you need to value money. I think you need to, I'm a firm believer, and this is a test, that God's always testing you. God's always testing you. And I remember, I was in Berkeley Square in London, there's a 5 pence piece on the floor. and I was going to grab it, and this woman saw me, and she put her foot on it. I was like, oh, God, no, I had to go all the way around. Because I think God teaches us. We always say, yeah, I love money. I said, all right, you love money? Let me test you out then. So you throw a 2p piece or a 5p piece or £1 or whatever. And for me, money is important because I know what I've done with it and what I've achieved from that. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's bad. It's only bad if you think it's bad. But that's like anything, whether it's money or cups or sauce. If you think they're bad for you, right? Mm-hmm. But again, that's your belief system. My belief system has always been is good in the right hands.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so when was the first time that you found value in yourself?
I think very young. I was big Punjabi household, 6 children, I'm the youngest. And I also helped my mum make the food. I was literally my mum's tail. I was always there. And annoyingly, obviously, I learned a lot from my mum.
Yeah.
And my mum was illiterate, still is. And but that didn't stop her. And I think as human beings, we make more excuses not to do something. Like, I can't do this, I won't do it. No, you can do it. Especially now with the internet. There's no excuses now, right?
No excuses.
But I think there's a danger of what I call digital dementia, mm-hmm. that we rely too much on technology. And I'll give you an example. I went for dinner 2 weeks ago. The table next to me, and 8 guys, and the bill came, and they got their phones out to pay for the bill, to split it. And I thought, that one, 20 years ago, that didn't happen. Mm-hmm. And I'll ask you a question. If I said to you, name me 5 people that you know their numbers off by heart, how many would you know? Probably 1 or 2.
2.
There you go.
Yeah.
Because you rely on your phone, you rely on a little box. So you're not, our brain is a muscle, it's an organ that needs to be trained.
Yeah.
So I do muscle training.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the value that I've added to my life, to my guys that work for me and with me, is don't just say, yes, we're here for a purpose. We have your own belief system. But don't rely on anybody. Mm-hmm. I've always said, don't rely on anybody. I don't rely on anybody. I'm very self-sufficient.
Yeah.
Because I know what can go wrong. And I like to focus on the goodness in people, and that's how I know I add value to them. And I've always done that as a very small age because my parents taught me that. Mm-hmm. And that comes from a mentor.
Yeah.
Always comes from your mum, your dad, or somebody you respect. So I've always added value very, very quickly.
Yeah.
And not just, and I don't just mean, monetary terms. I actually mean, I genuinely care about people.
Yeah.
I really want people to do well. Mm-hmm. I really want the world to be, and I don't mean to the airy-fairy way. I want people to give back to get back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just do something. And I've said it before, that where you're not expecting anything. Mm-hmm. Because you expect something, you will get disappointed.
Yeah.
Because not everybody thinks like you.
Mm-hmm.
But if you just give something and expect nothing in return, I guarantee you will get something. I promise you. Because the world works like that, right? Mm-hmm. And you've got to have a really big imagination. Think big, get big. I've always said that. Think big, get big. Think small, bang, you know the rest.
Yeah.
So you've got to think big. If you say, I want to be like a Netflix, yeah, let's do it. Mm-hmm. Because remember, everything around us here, the table, the chair, the phones, the cups, the sauce, somebody had an idea. Somebody had a thought. Somebody thought, let's make something we could sit on. Let's call it a chair. Or let's have a microphone. Let's have a device where you can speak to people. Let's make it mobile.
Yeah.
Somebody had a thought. So you have to have the same thought process. What can I design? What can I give back? And I think for me, I've always said to myself is that it's about how, you do get dark moments of the soul where you think, oh my God, am I going to collapse? You won't. We're really powerful species, do you know that? We're really powerful. Mm-hmm. Always remember one thing, when a lion walks into a jungle, he's not the biggest, he's not the strongest, he's not the fastest, and he's not the fittest. But why is everybody scared of the lion? I mean, literally everybody, even the elephant's scared of the lion, right? Yeah. Because his DNA, his belief system is, I am the biggest here. Yeah. I am the strongest here. Mm-hmm. I am the fittest, and I'll get what I want. So when a lion walks out, and he sees a deer or a coyote or whatever, mm-hmm. he's thinking, hey, it's lunchtime. Coyote's thinking, I've got to go. But why is that? Why do they think like that? Somebody in the process, in their DNA, said, you're the lion, you're the number one, mm-hmm. you're not, and you're the coyote, you're number 2 or number 3 or whatever. And I've always said to myself, I've reprogrammed my CPU, my system. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I am the lion, and I will always be, and I know I do things with people, and I think there's no way they could do that. I've always done it.
Yeah.
I have that much self-belief, and I've always said this. I did the speech a couple of years ago in Leicester, and I said, I'm that powerful as a human being that even cancer's scared of me.
Yeah, I was there.
You were there.
It was quality.
And everyone went, what is he on about? And I think I really believe in that. I really believe in myself, and I really believe that, you know, you can achieve anything, but you got to have that belief. You got to have a purpose. Because literally a purpose is a goal. You know, if we're playing football, if there's no goal, where are we aiming?
Yeah,
we're just aiming aimlessly, basically.
100%.
Right? So you need to have that goal, and I really mean this. Be unreasonable. Be unrealistic. Think huge. Think I want to be a trillionaire, and that's what I'm saying. I'm going to be a trillionaire. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I will get there.
Yeah.
Because you have to have the belief. You have to have the work ethic. You have to have, because the thing is, right, Theo, what you don't want is regret.
Yeah, get you. 100%.
I mean, literally, regret is the worst thing.
Horrible.
And you know, I always imagined myself being sort of 85 years old, on my rocking chair, and my grandkids say, "Granddad, do you have any regrets?" I'm like, "Yeah, I do. I wish I did this, this, and this." You know, if you fail, so what? At least you've tried.
Yeah.
You now said before, you now know how to fail, but don't worry about it. People always, you know, my mum says this in Punjabi. She said, you know, dogs will always bark. Somebody will always criticize you, whether it's a family friend or whether it's, and if you want to get some negative advice, don't go to your family for advice. They're the worst people. You know, oh no, Theo, don't do that. You just sit there and get a proper job, and you know, don't be an entrepreneur. What is it? There's no, because remember, we're not taught at school.
Yep. Real talk.
We're not taught at school how to be an entrepreneur. We're not taught at school how to deal with death, divorce, taxes, whatever, because that's not, you know. Think about logically, right? If your son said to you, "Dad, I want to be a professional football player, or I want to be a DJ, or I want to be a great chef, Gordon Ramsay," you would go to Gordon Ramsay. You would go to a great football player, Ronaldo, Beckham, right? But what do? We send them to a comprehensive school where teachers have no ambition. They don't want to be there. They're paid 30, 40, 50 grand, and they're telling your son or daughter that you can do this. Yeah, but you can't do it. Because if you could do it, you wouldn't be here. You'd be playing over there, right?
Yeah, 100%.
So let's think logically. Why do we send our kids to that? School is probably the worst place to send our kids.
Yeah, literally.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the worst. I don't, and again, I can say this from experience. I've never, ever used algebra. Ever.
Me either.
Have you?
Ever. Never.
Ever. I've never had someone say, "We're about to do £1 million deal with you, Jojar, but we need this algebra." I'm like, what? How does that link to this deal?
Literally.
So what I always say is do things that you gain that's the purpose for what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
And if it gets you closer to the goal, carry on doing it. And if it doesn't, just stop.
Yeah.
Just stop. Revisit. Deep breath. Something happens that's really, it's not in your control. Take a step back. Your chemicals are now all over the place. Control them.
Yeah.
Align yourself. How do you do that? And how I do that is 6 or 7 or 8 deep breaths into the nose, out through the mouth, 5-second hold. And then say, right, let's just smash it.
Love it. So how do you deal with the naysayers? Like people that say you can't do this, you can't do that. I understand, like, I've started up. My mum used to say, like, go get a real job and all this and that. And it, to a certain degree, hurt me a lot. But then on the flip side, I was like, no, this can work. And then slowly but surely started to get progression. Yeah. And then, but dealing with that is just something that you hold on to sometimes.
Yeah. So when you ask for advice, always look at their background first.
Yeah.
So for example, are they, you know, if you want to be, I said before, if you want to be a dentist, is he a dentist? If you want to be a lawyer, are they a lawyer? If it's your mum, okay, but she's always going to give you unconditional love. But it's the worst person to go to for advice. If I ask my mum, what do you think I should be like? Doctor, dentist, lawyer, accountant, that sort of thing, typical sort of Asian, Indian things, which I had no, like, I was like, I don't like blood, I'm not good with maths, I'm dyslexic. It's the worst thing to do for me, right? So you got to follow your path, follow your dream, and you got to dream, and you got to imagine what you want, you know, visualize it, and I do that all the time. So when the naysayers, when the naysayers say what they say, what they're saying isn't you can't do it because they can't do it. So to give you an example, Colonel Sanders, KFC, he went to over 1,500 investors. They all laughed at him. But now look at KFC, multi-billion-dollar business, right?
Yeah.
So everybody will, and I always say opportunity is a bit like on a plane, right? We're on a plane and the opportunity is the world and we're going past it. You got to jump. Just take the jump.
Just do it.
Just do it. Because I guarantee you, somewhere as you're falling 23,000 feet, you will build a parachute. You'll ring somebody, you'll know somebody, you'll do something, you will find a way. But one thing I guarantee you, if you don't jump off that plane, the ghost of opportunity, when you're on your deathbed, they'll say, Theo, we are dying because of you. Because of you couldn't be asked or be bothered to do what we wanted you to do, because these were our dreams. And you've killed all our dreams because of you, because of the way you thought. So take the jump. Take the plunge. You're in good hands. You'll be fine.
And like, you're a leader, definitely have that leader trait and to have that confidence and being like that alpha male, because you need to set the example like the lion. Like, how do you remain consistent with keeping that up? Like, I know that you have your routine, but I've started to implement a lot of things as well, but it's the remaining of consistency and growing of self, because I know that you're very much a mindset man. Like you told me from the get-go as well. On my own journey, so remaining consistent with that, how do you keep up with that?
So it's a really good question. It's very simple. Is focus on the outcome, not your process. So what do I mean by that? Your heartbeat beats about 2 billion times in your lifetime, right? But if you actually dissected it and looked at the chamber have to open per millisecond when the blood goes and goes out, you were like, that's impossible. No machine in the world can do that. But you never think about that, right?
No.
Because you assume everything's fine. You wake up in the morning, you go to bed, fine. But if you thought about that, you think, I've got to be careful, I don't want to exercise, I don't want to run. The same business too. You got to have the purpose, the goal, the target, and you aim for that. That's all you keep doing. And that will take some people 5 years or 50 years or 15 years or whatever it is. But it's being consistent. It's having that self-belief. There'll be times where you don't want to go to the gym. So what I always do is punish myself in the gym. So when I do my reps and I think I've done 10, but I'll do the extra 1, 11, right, bang. Because I'm more control. I always say control the controllables. And the one thing you can't control is people. So they will let you down. We've got 46 companies in our group. Every single HOD will ring me and I'll have a problem. So what I've done now is I've embraced those problems. And they're not a problem. It's just he doesn't know the answer. There's no such thing as a problem. It's impossible. It's only a problem for you because you don't know the answer. But for me, I've got the answer. So you look at your network and think, who do I know? Who do I go to? But the key is just keep it really simple. Life is complicated as it is. With all stuff going on around us, right? So just keep it simple. Surround yourself with, like-minded people. And don't any negative people.
What would you tell your 18-year-old self?
Just keep doing what you're doing. Don't change.
Okay. And what advice would you give to a young entrepreneur at the moment in this pandemic thinking about starting a business?
Go for it. Really go for it. There's opportunities here big time. And keep it simple. Find out, listen to customers, what do they want, what are their needs, what are the requirements. 3 things you need to do well in anything you do, whether it's losing weight or making money. You need to have a passion of a project or an idea, and then you've got to have the momentum to keep going, because there were days that you don't want to get up, but you've got to keep going. And then you need some sort of progress. You need progress in what you do. Otherwise, if you don't see progress, you think, what am I doing? You get bored, and then there's no progress, there's no momentum, because there's no progress. And there's no momentum, there's no passion, because there's no momentum, because there's no progress. It's a vicious circle. But give it a go.
Okay.
Give it a go.
And this is a very important question that I'm going to ask. The reason why I ask it is because a lot of people on Instagram and social media show highlights and all the amazing cars, watches all this amazing stuff, but in reality there are problems and solutions. So could you give us a moment or a scenario that you've been in where you've had a problem and you've solved it? And because those struggles are really what make people.
So first of all, I don't think you should take any notes on social media. You know, whether Instagram, someone flashy cars or whatever. Anyone can hire a car. Anyone can hire a house. You can rent stuff, right? So don't focus on them, focus on you. Be selfish, have some me time. The other thing is, the only time you're sad as an individual, think about in your life now, is when you start comparing yourself.
Yep.
Either you compare yourself to your friend or your social circle, or you compare yourself when you were happy a year ago or 10 years ago or 5 years ago. So don't compare. Don't compare. Focus on you and just keep the goal. Keep that in. I mean, literally, I look at my goals every hour. Like, bang, have I hit my goal, hit my goal. And be obsessed. I am really, 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 really obsessed to be successful.
Yeah.
I'm literally, you know, if you and I went running and you can run, you would give up because you're tired. I'll give up because I'm dead. I mean, if I'm not, for me, obsession is like oxygen. You can't go without it for more than 10, 15, 20 seconds, right? You'll be gone. That's that obsessed. I'm literally that obsessed. I don't stop. Theo, I literally do not stop.
I know you don't stop.
You know? And I've said to myself, I'm not a human being, I'm a machine.
Yeah, you are.
I don't like food, I have fuel. And bang, I'm gone. I sleep for 2 hours in 24. I break my day into 3, 8, 16, 24. So I got 3 days of one day. So I wake up, do my prayers, my day starts. I don't worry about time. I mean, again, let's question it. Who said there were 24 hours in a day?
Yeah.
Who said there were 7 days in a week?
Real talk.
You know what I mean? So you got to like break the CPU in your head and reassemble it, and that's what I've done. And that's why when I mentor people, it's all about, okay, well, let me see your belief system and let's break it, because everything around us, Theo, is a program. It's a TV program.
Yeah.
It's a Microsoft program. So you are programmed. Yeah. But the brain, as I said to you earlier, is not designed to make you happy. It's designed to make you survive. So it won't know fact or fiction. But remember, when the lion sees the coyote, after 15 minutes after it runs away, the coyote back to 15 minutes is back to normal self. It doesn't know that, hang on a second, 15 minutes ago I was being chased for my life. We're the only species we can switch on and switch off. If I say to you, it's £1 billion, you'll be like, I'm happy, I can look after my mum, my kids. But if I say, look, you've got terminal cancer, you'll be like, oh shit, really? So you got to control the thing between your ears. It is literally magical if you get it right.
Yeah.
There's nothing you cannot do if you train your brain. And that's important, because we don't do that enough. And going to the gym is great, but again, it's the neck down, not the neck up. So take time to train your brain. And it's not just, okay, I've trained it once. Like if you want to do a chest, you don't just train it once a week. You train it 3 or 4 times a week. Yeah. And then slowly it grows. Same with your brain. Don't think I've done it once and, okay, where's the result? Where's my money? Why is my bank account still empty? You got to be consistent and persistent, and you got to believe in yourself, and you got to love yourself, and you put all that together, there's nothing you cannot do.
Yeah. Okay, so where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
So we have a financial plan for more than 5 years. So as a business, we want to grow and give a lot more to South Africa, but also South America when it comes to gifting things and doing a lot of humanitarian work there. Me personally, I do a lot of personal development for myself, so I want to keep on doing that. I want to do more mentoring. I think I get so many inquiries saying, can you mentor us? And there's something that I've got to do now, I think. Plunge myself in real deep. And as a business, I said to you, we will grow. I want Athlone to be a $100 billion company, and it can be. We're on track for everything. Even in the pandemic, we went through the struggles, but we were very resilient, because the man at the top is very resilient. I won't take no for an answer. Literally, I just say no. We're going to do it. So I think always remember, you are the captain. Your frontal lobe he's a boss. He's a CEO. He's a general manager. He's the MD. He's the one that tells everybody what to do, and that's why it's important for us as a business and me as an individual to keep the CEO, the MD, the general manager, the boss man to be happy. Even things are falling apart. I just got to be happy all the time.
Cool. So, how can the listeners and the viewers reach out to you or contact you or find you on socials?
Yes, I'm on LinkedIn.
Yeah,
I don't do any of the social media for the reason I said before. But just Google my name, Jojar Dhinsa. There's something there. Put a link on your thingy site. but I'm easy accessible, and I literally do answer all my emails and my shout outs. I don't.
And he really does.
I do. I like to be in touch with the real people, as I call them.
Yeah.
Right. Just because you've got money, it doesn't make you a better person. You still, I am still flesh and blood. Obviously, special flesh and blood, but I'm still flesh and blood. So yeah, just reach out to me. I'll always respond. I think I've seen people in my network that I've got literally 10% of what I've got. There's change for the worst. They hide away, whereas I still like going to Tesco and Asda and Little and whatever to see what's happening.
Yeah,
because they're the real people. I was there. I was there. I was born in 2 up, 2 down. So I'm not gonna lose my roots because I've got a bit of money. That's just stupid.
Yeah,
and that's not me. I don't like it. I really don't like it. I like. It's really funny. My hairdresser, bless her. She didn't know my full name. I never give my full name out to people because the first thing hairdressers do, let's Google him. And people change. When he got money, people change. Oh, you're so and so. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's me. So she didn't know. I said my name was Jay, like Jay, not Jojar, right? And she's like, Jay, why didn't you tell me? I went, tell you what? She went, oh, you've got a bit of money. Yeah, but why should I tell you that?
Yeah.
It doesn't make me a better person. Or you're not going to cut my hair differently, are you? She went, no, but I can give you. I said, well, give me what? More respect? No, I'm not. I said, just Kathy, I ain't like that. So, but I love her to bits. And I think what you have to do is love yourself, be honest to yourself, and just give it a go. And I think I've always said to people that work with me and for me is just don't stop. Because what are you going to do?
Literally.
You can make 1,000 excuses not to do something, but there's only one reason why you should do it, because what else are you going to do?
Yeah. And
you don't want your kids to say, Dad, when these people were making money, what were you doing? Oh, I was doing nothing, son.
Literally.
And that will hurt me.
Yeah, that would.
Do you know what I mean? It'll hurt you because you're a parent, right?
Yeah.
Your wife, and you should say,
it hurt.
And it's a weekend, we're working. I don't mind. I don't see us work.
Nah, it's not.
But it is work, right?
Yeah, it is, but it's.
You're creating a platform. People just look, they need help, and they're reaching out to you. And we all need to work together. I don't think you should. I don't agree with when people say, well, the rich are on the north-south divide and the rich poor. I don't like that. I think we all should help each other out, not just financially, but emotionally, spiritually. And I think that's important for me as a Sikh. But I think we need to be aware of what's happening around us. And I think sometimes we're a bit selfish, which is fine in business. It's good to be selfish. Yeah. But not when it comes to general stuff. I mean, today I was driving this woman in front of me, she's driving really slow. But I thought, well, maybe she's driving slow because she's lost. Yeah. Yeah? Maybe she's actually worried. As I pulled next to her, she was a nurse trying to find a house. And I said, oh, can I help you? She said, no, I just found it. But most people would horn, angry, shout. And I thought, no, leave it. Because that energy I'm going to use to be angry, why don't I use that energy to be happy and sad and ring somebody?
Be resourceful.
Yeah, be resourceful, right. And I always ring people randomly in my network. Hey, how's it going? You okay? Text them. Just be nice to people and do something to a stranger that they'll go, yeah, I went to Cafe Nero the other day. Not that I'm promoting Cafe Nero, by the way, but if I get free tokens, I'll take them. I went to this coffee shop the other day, and this random man came up to me and paid my coffee. And I've done that. I do it all the time. And do you know what? I always think, I wonder what they're thinking. He's either a bit of a mad Indian bloke, or he's a nice guy. I hope I'm a nice guy. But you start the process.
Yeah.
Like you start the domino, goes dink, and all of a sudden ding, 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 ding. Because if I went there and started shouting and screaming, oh God, the guy was shouting, he was screaming, he was negative, and I'm now negative. Whereas I like to make impact. That's really important for me as a business, as a human being, to make that impact, to go, right, I've done something really great today. And the best thing is, you feel great inside because you've done something where you didn't have to do it. You've done it because it's nice to be nice.
It's nice to be nice.
And it's good to be good.
Yeah, 100%. Well, I just want to ask just one more question. I think networking is very important. And you, as a person, I know that your network is vast and not just in the UK, across the world, globally. What would you advise to an entrepreneur that needs to start building those connections?
So I've I actually don't network. I actually don't meet people. I haven't been to a networking event for years. I can't remember the last time I went to one. I don't know, 15, 16 years. And that's because, believe it or not, I'm quite a shy person. Believe it or not.
Believe it or not. You're just like such a great character and great person.
I think networking is, there's different ways of networking. I tell you what, networking for me, I've never really utilized it, because for me, I'm a people's person. I like to engage with people, but I don't like negative Nellies.
Yeah,
and most networking events I've been to, I used to go to, I didn't go to many. It was like, name badge, and there's a whole nonsense of like, hi, my name is John, I'm a mechanic, or my name is John, I'm an MD of an accounting firm. Well, I don't need you, bye. Because I'm very selfish like that. I only do something that's close to my goal. So why am I going to talk to John the mechanic or Dave the accountant? I don't need a mechanic, and I've got an accountant, so move on. And I think sometimes they can be, because you then get the phone calls, oh, hi, I met you at the network last week. I think, who are you? I don't even know you. Why? Because you've made no impact. So you've got to make impact in what you meet. Definitely. Like I would say, bang, here's who I am, here's what I do, here's what I need from you. And like, oh my God, all right. He'll either say, yes, I like you, or you know what, I want a quick yes or a quick no. Let's move on. I call it hit and run. Hit and run. Bang, 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 bang. And that's what I do, like the quick thing. Like, the quick, what do they call it? Fast networking, or what do you call that thing?
The light network.
The light network is what it's called?
Yeah, light network where you can just
bang, 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 bosh. Yeah. I like that. And speed networking.
Yeah,
right?
speed networking.
Because I want the instant gratification. And once I've got it, piss off. I don't need you now. Next. Because remember, I've only got so much in my brain.
Yep.
I don't want to consume my brain like the cup with shit stuff. Because I don't need the shit stuff. I've already got a lot of shit stuff. I want more, right? So everyone's different. Depends what your proposition is, right? Sometimes you need to. And I'm not saying it's not good. It's just it's not right for me. What I've achieved.
100%.
But I will still meet people. I mean, but I rather, especially now with all the COVID stuff, you got a Zoom network. That's a really weird thing. Zoom network.
Yeah.
I mean, we missed the interaction, right? I missed that. I missed it.
That's why genuinely I've done this, because, and the joke is, like, I sit down with people and speak with them. They're just like, "This is amazing." Like, I feel like I've actually really had to open up and talk. And I'm like, this is important that we interact with humans. 100%.
We're designed to interact. You know, when I see people like on their own, excuse me. Corona. When I see people, I saw this lady. I was in a restaurant with the missus, and it's a Sunday. She's eating on her own Sunday lunch, Sunday roast, sorry. And I said to the waiter, "Look, whatever the bill is, I'll look after the bill." And I didn't. I said, "But whatever, but do it when I go. I don't want her knowing I'll pay for the bill." And the reason why I did that is because I didn't want her to think she's on her own. I didn't want her to think there's somebody out there that doesn't actually care for me. Yes, it's a stranger. Some Indian boy from Coventry, but I still want to feel that there's hope.
Of course.
And I like to give people the hope and the opportunity to say, you know what, it's fine. Just do it. Don't be scared, because I guarantee you, regret, discipline weighs in grams. Regret weighs in tons.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And don't have any. I've got zero regrets. Nothing. I should have invested in Facebook and LinkedIn and other social media websites that was offered. I didn't do it because it wasn't my time. So everything happens for a reason. People come into life for a reason, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think you should, even the ones that you don't need, they've got some form of gift. Everyone's got a gift, by the way. That's really important for your listeners and viewers to understand that even they might think they know nothing. Yeah. They've got a gift. They just don't know what it is yet.
Yes. Do you
know what I mean?
Yes.
Even a homeless person has a gift. He's got to be homeless. But he's got a gift somewhere. And he just needs that break. People need a chance. People need, like, you know what? And listen, I've been there where I think I'm going to lose everything. But there's something inside me that says, no, you're not. Because I believe in myself. Right? Yeah. And this pandemic we're in now, we're experiencing, it's not a pandemic, it's your interpretation that's wrong. So change your interpretation. Yeah. Just change it. And I have, if anything negative happens to me, like someone cuts me up or, whatever, I always think it's like I'm old, so it's like a CD.
You're not old.
Oh, you know, I'm older than you, mate. I'm older than most of your viewers and listeners. But the point is, I try and scratch it.
Yeah.
So if I scratch it, it won't come back again. So any negative habit, I scratch it, and then I visualize myself actually doing it, right? And I think, being an entrepreneur is the best paid, hardest work. It's the worst paid, easiest work. It's a very, very lonely journey.
Yeah, I remember you told me that.
Oh my God, it's like, because you are the CEO, the chairman, the cleaner, the IT guy. You know, when you work with big companies like Apple or Microsoft or Cisco, Oracle, something breaks down, you ring up IT, they'll replace it in an hour. If it breaks down on your own, you've got to go to PC World or Carphone Warehouse, get in the car, wait there, come 3 hours later, and you think, oh, what have I achieved?
Yeah.
But remember, I always say to people this, celebrate the small successes. That's really important.
Yeah.
It's the old pat on the back, buy something, buy yourself a tie or a watch or a suit or whatever. But celebrate the little successes, because when the big ones come, boom, you're ready for it. And that's important. Yeah, making money is great. Having a big bank account is great. But it doesn't make you as a person.
Yep.
It's what you do with it. And spread the wealth. There's enough out there. You don't need 20 cars. I've had them. I don't need them. I can try and drive one. You don't need 50 houses or 100 pairs of shoes. You just need one nice pair of shoes. Okay, maybe have two if you need to. But I don't. I always say now. I'm now, as older one gets, you appreciate a lot of stuff around us, especially now what's happening in the pandemic. But you question everything. Whereas before, when you're young, it's like, forget it. I'll just do it. And don't waste your time. Because one thing you can't do, you can make money. If you lose money, you make some more. If you lose a partner, you get another one eventually.
Yeah.
But you won't get the time back. And that's important, that you value your time. Because if you don't value your time, you're not going to value anybody else's, right?
Yeah.
So don't talk to negative people. Stay away from them. Don't say anything to them. Don't talk to people that are what I call toxic. And they could be family members too, by the way.
Yeah.
And just believe in yourself. And just do it. You've got nothing to lose, everything to gain. There's no such thing, by the way, as failure. No such thing. You either win or you learn. But there's no failure.
Yeah.
Makes sense, yeah?
100%. Yeah.
Yeah?
You mentioned it to me loads of times, and
there's no such thing.
When you say these things, and it sticks in my mind, and I know it's really pushed me, and I know that everyone that's listening and watching this, they're going to be able to soak up some of this, and hopefully they do it. They make what they've got in their mind happen.
Don't be scared, because you don't, like I said to you earlier, you don't want the regret, because you never got a second chance, because we're only here once. We are all going to die. Period. And you take nothing with you. Nothing. Zero. Nothing. So you've nothing to lose. And if you need money, find a way of starting. You don't nowadays with the internet, mate. You don't need money.
Nope.
You just need to have the fire in the belly and the ice in your head to say, I'm going to do it. I'm not going to stop until I do it. And whether you're a single mother, or whether you're a makeup artist, or whether you're a masseuse or whatever, there's people out there. Yeah. People need that stuff. All you got to do, and this is where social media, I suppose, does help, is you need to get out there. Yeah. Social media is a bit like, being in a packed football stadium and you're in the middle and everyone's shouting at you. Yeah. Who's listened to? The one that shouts out the loudest. Who's consistent? Most people, and I mean 99.9% of people, will shout out once and stop.
Yep. Real talk.
Yeah. Just once to go, hi, use my services. Okay, fine, fair enough. Me? I just do not stop. I'll run over around the stadium, up, down, left, right, and go. And they're like, who is this guy shouting? Yeah. I might not have the product they need, but I've got their attention. And once you've got their attention, bang, you can sell your proposition. Yeah. So get people's attention, make impact, and don't give up until you get what you need.
100%. Jojar, it's absolutely a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you for your time.
Definitely. I don't think this is going to be the last time you're going to be on the show. I think there's going to be other things that we could probably talk about. Yeah. And yeah, man, it's just genuinely absolute pleasure. You're a legend.
Thank you, mate.
No problem. I want to say thank you very much for watching and listening to the Hoffington podcast. And I would love for you to share this with a friend, an entrepreneur that needs this type of advice. Share it with someone that's probably down in the dumps and needs to actually bring themselves up. And subscribe to this channel. There's going to be tons of content. My aim is 100 people by December, which is easily doable. At the moment, I've got 50 people by next week, literally. So when you're listening to this, please bear other entrepreneurs in mind. Take the gems and information, the experiences others have had, and try and use that information to forward you into a better place tomorrow. Take care, and I'll see you on the next show.